Today we're making a cozy vegan pot pie topped with fluffy, buttery biscuits. This recipe is loaded with fresh veggies, savory spices, and flaky, layered biscuits that will warm you up from the inside out. Let's dig in. Let's start with the biscuits. They're flaky and buttery, but entirely vegan. First, we'll make the vegan buttermilk. Just add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and fill the cup the rest of the way with vegan milk. We're gonna let this sit for 10 minutes, and this helps make the biscuits tender and flaky. White vinegar and lemon juice can also be substituted to make this work. Next, mix your dry ingredients. I've done this same recipe with an all-purpose gluten-free flour blend. This isn't sponsored, by the way. It's your loss, Bob, not mine. Now, add your frozen butter. A fork works just fine here, cutting it in until the texture resembles sand, which is a great reference point I use to know when to stop. Once it's mixed, turn your dough onto a floured surface and knead a few times. This dough will be sticky, don't worry. Just flour your hands and shape it into a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch thick oval. Right here, you could just cut out the biscuits and proceed with the rest of the recipe. But for those layers, fold the dough a few times, then you cut out your biscuits. Place them on a plate, then keep them refrigerated while moving to make the vegan pot pie filling. Cutting our veggies play a huge role in how we shape the landscape for the textures of our pot pie. Most of the veggies here we don't need to worry about. The goal is simply to chop them in a way that a spoonful is a bite of everything. I'd say the carrots, being the densest vegetable, is where our concern lies. Slices are okay for the very base of the carrot, but once you start getting towards the top, due to its thickness, consider halving or quartering to make sure that it cooks evenly with the rest of the ingredients. Now for the filling, we got a mix of beans, carrots, peas, and celery with a blend of herb and spices. Let's start by sauteing onions, garlic, and our fresh thyme in vegan butter until fragrant. This creates that flavor base for our filling. Next, add in our carrots, our celery, then a splash of white wine. This step adds depth. Cook until the wine is mostly evaporated. Now, add your spices, giving them a chance to toast, and then follow that up with your flour. The flour will help thicken the sauce, giving us that creamy filling. This is another place you could use that gluten-free all-purpose flour we talked about. But you could also use a very basic chickpea flour, oat flour, or even something else similar to that. Slowly pour in the liquids, whisking as you go to prevent lumps while scraping the fond and iron, if you're using cast iron that is, to create this creamy, flavorful base. Once we get here, we're gonna pull this down to a simmer for 2 or 3 minutes until thickened. If you're not using a baking proof dish, you could transfer it over to one at this time in the recipe. We're gonna top this with our chilled biscuits for that perfect golden crust. Before heading into the oven, brush the biscuits with vegan milk or butter. This will help give them that gorgeous color as they bake. And about 20 minutes later, release the Kraken. That just doesn't sound as appealing. Release the pot pie. Fluffy, I mean fluffy baked biscuits just towering into the bubbly, hot, delicious filling. Give it 10 minutes, the flavors will settle. And there you have it, a rich, hearty vegan pot pie with buttery biscuits. Perfect for a cozy night in or a holiday showstopper. Full recipe, substitutions and all, can be found linked in the description, or head on over to my website, makeitdairyfree.com. Appreciate you. Till next time, believe in good. Peace.